McLaren F1 doesn't just cost $20 million, it earned it through unmatched engineering. This is Jay Leno's most expensive supercar, the purest form of perfection ever put on the road. And here's how it all began. McLaren F1 was born from one goal, and that was to build the ultimate road car, designed and engineered by McLaren Automotive under the vision of Gordon Murray. It was produced between 1992 and 1998, during an era where supercars were raw, analog, and unfiltered. McLaren had already conquered Formula 1, but Murray wanted to bring the same racing purity to the street, without compromise, electronics, or unnecessary weight. Each F1 was hand-built in Woking, England, with a lightweight carbon fiber monocoque, the first of its kind in a production car. The body panels were sculpted for aerodynamic efficiency. The gold-lined engine bay reflected heat away from its central V12, and every part was built for balance, not excess. Jay Leno acquired his McLaren F1 in 1994, one of only 64 road-going units ever made. He paid around $800,000 at the time, a fortune then but a fraction of its modern worth. Today, pristine F1s regularly trade hands for $18 to $22 million, making it the most valuable car in his collection. It isn't because of celebrity ownership or rarity alone. It's because the McLaren F1 remains a singular achievement in automotive design, a machine decades ahead of its time. Every component was chosen with purpose. We're talking nothing added or wasted. Every process was meaningful. Did you know when Gordon Murray set out to design the McLaren F1, he approached it like a Formula 1 car for the road? It was like pure function and distilled perfection. Every millimeter of its construction had a reason, and every material was selected to push the limits of engineering in the early 1990s. The McLaren F1 was the first production car to use a carbon fiber monocoque chassis, a technology then exclusive to Formula 1. McLaren didn't just adapt the material, they reinvented how it could be used. The result was a structure that weighed less than 100 kilograms, yet offered exceptional rigidity and crash safety. The body panels too were carbon fiber, joined with titanium bolts and aluminum honeycomb structures to save weight. To manage heat from the engine bay, McLaren lined the firewall and rear bulkhead with real gold foil, an excellent heat reflector. Even the pedals were made of magnesium, and the instrument panel was machined from a single block of aluminum. Unlike other supercars at the time, nothing about the car was ornamental, with every gram serving a rather practical function. While most supercars of the era used steel or aluminum space frames, the F1's carbon core made it decades ahead of its time. At the heart of the F1 sits the 6.1-liter naturally aspirated V12, built by BMW's M division, which is known internally as the S70/2 engine. Producing 618 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque, it remains one of the most celebrated engines ever fitted to a road car. Murray's only requirement to BMW: no turbos, no superchargers, and absolutely no compromise in throttle response. Weighing just 266 kilograms, the engine revved to 7,500 RPM and delivered power with instant precision. It was paired with a 6-speed manual gearbox, meaning no traction control, no driver aids, just mechanical purity. The result? A car that could accelerate from 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds and reach a top speed of 240.1 miles per hour, which by the way was a world record in 1998. For context, it took Bugatti's Veyron, with over 1,000 horsepower and 4 turbos, to surpass it nearly a decade later. And unlike modern hypercars, the McLaren F1 achieved stability without massive wings or active aerodynamics. Gordon Murray wanted a shape that sliced through the air naturally, with minimal drag. The car's underbody used a Venturi tunnel system, creating a ground effect downforce. The same principle is used in Formula 1. A subtle rear diffuser and adjustable rear flaps helped balance the car at high speed, deploying automatically under heavy braking. The double wishbone suspension was tuned to be compliant yet precise, offering both comfort and track-level control. While today's hypercars like the Koenigsegg, Jesko, or Aston Martin Valkyrie rely on computer-controlled aerodynamics, the F1 relied purely on just brilliant design and physics for balance. and this made it a driver's car in the truest sense, one that rewarded skill, not software. Step inside Leno's car and you'll see the McLaren F1 was as radical as its mechanics. The 3-seat layout, the driver position in the center, was designed for perfect symmetry and visibility. Passengers sat slightly behind on either side, creating a cockpit-like experience reminiscent of a jet fighter. Now here's why materials were chosen for function and balance, instead of just luxury. Lightweight leather, hard finished aluminum, and carbon details dominated the interior, but didn't add useless weight. Even the toolkits were crafted from titanium to save weight. Why? Because every gram mattered. The steering wheel and gauges were ergonomically aligned around the driver's natural line of sight, reinforcing that this was a machine built to be driven, not displayed. Comfort features were minimal. You could see that the air conditioning, custom luggage compartments, and even high-quality sound insulation were all engineered to keep weight balanced. This design proved that performance and craftsmanship could coexist without excess. Between 1992 and 1998, McLaren built just 106 units of the F1, and that is including prototypes and race variants. Only 64 were road cars, which makes Jay Leno pretty lucky to get his hands on one. Each one of these were hand-assembled by a dedicated team in Woking. Every example was customized for its owner, with unique color schemes, materials, and specifications. This bespoke process made production incredibly slow and expensive. But McLaren didn't really chase profits. As you can see, they were after perfection. The car was priced at around $800,000 USD at launch, which was far above anything comparable. But its engineering integrity, rarity, and the record-breaking performance cemented it as an instant legend. Unlike modern limited editions that are built to generate hype and can be completed into 3 to 5 weeks, the F1 was limited by practicality. It simply took too long and cost too much to build more. McLaren produced roughly one F1 every 6 to 8 weeks, and sometimes even slower depending on customer requests or engineering refinements. That scarcity, combined with the car's technical brilliance, explains why it commands over $20 million in value, and why even McLaren itself has never truly recreated its magic. But what really exactly makes it worth $20 million? The McLaren F1's $20 million price tag isn't just about luxury, it's about precision, rarity, and heritage. Each car demanded thousands of hours of skilled labor, with many components crafted by hand. Take the carbon fiber monocoque. BMW built F12, and gold-lined engine bay weren't just expensive materials either. At the time, they represented groundbreaking innovation that few workshops could replicate, and even now. The R&D costs for developing such a one-off machine were astronomical, spread across fewer than 100 cars. McLaren invested in custom tooling, crash testing, and design iterations that would never be used on another model. Add that to the brand's F1 pedigree, the car's proven performance legacy, and its record-setting top speed, and it becomes more than a vehicle. It's a historical artifact. Maintenance is meticulous and very costly, sure, but collectors see it as an appreciating asset. In today's market, rarity and engineering purity ensure that the McLaren's F1 value keeps climbing, not fading. But then perfection does come with flaws. As much fun Jay Leno has driving it, for all its genius, the McLaren F1 isn't a flawless machine. Its extreme engineering makes it extremely delicate to own and difficult to service. Many replacement parts are no longer produced, and repairs often require shipping the car back to McLaren's facility in England. Even simple maintenance can cost tens of thousands of dollars, as every system is hand-fitted and uniquely designed. The F1 also lacks modern driver aids, like there's no traction control, stability systems, or even ABS, and this makes it unforgiving at the limit. It demands total focus from the driver and punishes mistakes. Comfort is secondary. Heat from the central engine seeps into the cabin, and visibility can be challenging in city traffic. While newer hypercars like the Bugatti Chiron or McLaren Speedtail offer greater comfort, safety, and ease of use, none capture the purity of raw connection of the F1. Its flaws are part of its legend that makes it human, imperfect, and yet untouchable.